Welcome to the Think Factory podcast. We got one question for you. What keeps you up at night?
I'm your host today, Chris Santamassimo, of course, from OGC Solutions. And I'm really excited to introduce, and for many, reintroduce Skandacor, and in particular, Skandacor's Global Partnership Manager, which is John Congdon from Webster, New York. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate the opportunity.
Well, we got connected, John, thanks to all the good sort of marketing and presence that Skandacor has and has done. And I've been really impressed with the company. And I guess the theme for today's conversation is the value of embellishment on packaging, on direct mail print, direct mail marketing pieces, and many other things. And really, Skandacor is empowering your customers to get into embellishment and enhance the value of their products. So I'd love for you to introduce yourself and the company and talk a little bit about what you do, and then we'll take it from there.
Yeah, most certainly, Chris. And John Congdon, the global channel partner manager, and I oversee primarily the sales and marketing team and forefront there. Skandacor, we've been in business for over 20 years with our HQ, as you mentioned, in Rochester, New York, or Webster, New York. And we have facilities around North America. We have a location in Western Canada, a location in California, a office in the Caribbean, and as well our manufacturing and distribution center in Barcelona, Spain. So we have a very good global footprint, and all things embellishment. We're largely known in the industry for our lamination equipment, and now with so much of the embellishment side taking off, our Sleek Pro line and our digital die cutting, and then our most recent release is our Finish Pro 3D UV resin printer. So we pretty much are considered, with our OEM partners and print producers, we are the company you want to partner with in terms of all things embellishment.
John, just for folks that might be new to the concept of embellishment, just talk a little bit about what embellishment means in the Skandacor world and how some of your products empower it.
Yeah, so we're very passionate and very proactive company. We actually started out originally many years ago as a trade finishing house, and that, so our roots have come from being in the feet and shoes of print producers / trade finishing houses, and we saw real life all the challenges that they experience, and we set down the course of creating machinery and products that make it so that it is affordable to get into print embellishment. And when I refer to print embellishment, I'm meaning you take a sheet of paper or whatever your stock material is that has CMYK ink on it or toner, and then it comes to the Skandacor process, and we can do a complete buffet line, if you will, of any type of embellishment beyond that CMYK print. So that may be putting just a gloss laminate on to protect it through the mail stream. Or we got, those brand owners that want to capture, retail space on the shelf, whether it be a tactile element of our soft touch laminates or catching with the eye with our foil enhancements and the raised effects, depending on what the client or brand owner is looking to achieve in terms of taking it beyond a CMYK print. That is where Skandacor gets involved with our machinery and our consumable products to operate our machinery. And we've done that in a unique way that fits the digital space and makes it affordable for whatever type of production environment you're in. We have an affordable solution for you. So I think a couple key things, if I may point out, Chris, is, yes, our focus is with digital print producers. That is our core customer base. And we do reach out with them directly as, from a go-to-market strategy. A lot of our product is distributed directly, but now we also have an entire dealer network and our OEM partners some of the big brand OEM digital print manufacturers. We are partners with them as well. So you'll see our product line coming through those channels as well. So it's really affordability to be able to get the capital machinery, make it so that the new era workforce can operate the machinery, and make it so that short run you can make it as a positive revenue stream, even short run. So we like to say we check all the boxes for that short to medium size embellishment print producer.
Yeah, the concept of affordability, I'm sure, strikes your customers really well. But the ability to have an affordable solution that gives you or gives the producer that extra, I don't know, spark on the mail piece or spark on the folding carton, that does a lot for the perception of value of the consumer, and therefore is going to help the customers of your customers sell better or sell on a different proposition than just a plain old printed box or a printed mail piece.
Absolutely, Chris. And the vault of data surrounding that is overwhelmingly positive in terms of if you want your piece to get into the hands of your audience in a way that it builds brand value, they are going to either purchase the product that's inside your packaging, or you're just trying to get a message across that isn't blending in with the sea of other messages. You need a standout message. That is where the Skandacor portfolio of products comes in, because just as you mentioned, there's so many sensories. We got the eye, we got the feel, and the 3D effect now. So when you can do variable data foiling and variable data 3D raised embellishment on top of print, and personalized, the key thing is personalization. It really drives home the value that the brand owner is trying to achieve, but it sets in the mind of the client, if they receive a direct mail piece and their personal name is in foil or three-dimensional foil, the data surrounding the retention of that piece of mail or that invite packet, overwhelmingly, it's over 10x. So we love to partner with those proactive producers and brand owners that can embrace the value in taking up and utilizing our products, because they are going to see rapid growth in terms of the return on investment.
Yeah, I can speak to it personally that when I get a piece like that, it strikes me as something that I need to pay attention to, because somebody went through a lot of trouble, or it appears that somebody went through a lot of trouble and effort to convey a message or treat me specially. I'm sure there are other aspects of the psychological reaction, but that's got to be an important piece of it.
Exactly, Chris. It's a key piece. I mean, yes, we as consumers, we've been very used to seeing our name black ink jetted onto, mailing pieces that, are mass produced, but, your personalized name may be, black ink on there, and it does not have the wow factor. If you receive a direct mail piece inviting you to an event and your name is personalized in a holographic foil or a metallic foil or raised, that is going to catch your attention, and you're going to retain that piece. And there's a very high probability you are going to sign up for that event or go to the venue, etc., because that someone has put a lot more effort into it than a direct mail piece that arrives destroyed and your name is just, ink jetted on with the masses.
Yeah, and after it attracts my eyes, then I'm impressed as I look at the piece a little bit and see, the additional embellishment that's been done, not just the personalization to me, but I guess I mentally think, well, if the brand owner has spent that kind of effort, it must be something different or differentiated, something more special that they're going to advertise. So I'm more likely to read it in detail and really appreciate what it is, as opposed to, as you said, to the standard mail piece.
That's right. And as well, overwhelmingly look at the amount of video content now that people are, just a consumer is posting to the public, unboxing, the unboxing reveal. And so much of it, they talk about the packaging that the product is inside as they're live stream videoing the content. And so it lends itself as to the importance of your packaging if you are selling a value product, that you cannot take a high value product and put it in low end packaging. The recipient, the consumer, they have made a large investment into this piece that largely we know a lot of high-end product is purchased online without that see-touch feel happening on the retail shelf space. You want that same experience to be translated as that person is receiving that package, unboxing it, going through the motions psychologically, emotionally before they get to the actual hard copy product. It really just sets the table, doesn't it? And that's what you say now. Those of us in the print industry for many years, when you receive a package or get something, we have keen eyes as to what a brand has done to the packaging of their product and how they've engaged emotionally with their consumer. You see, let's just say Coke and Pepsi, when, they were putting personalized names on their cans, people want to gravitate to that. They want their name. They want to see, touch, feel, hold their name, right? So the more that big brand owners can embrace that level of engagement, that builds brand loyalty, right?
Of course. And, when you factor in the affordability issue, would you say that the way that Skandacor approaches it, you're really driving the capability down into the smaller end of the market, even for smaller producers to be able to take advantage of it?
Well, that's exactly what's happened, Chris, is, yes, a lot of this technology, apart from the variable data aspect, but a lot of the sensory stuff, the soft touch feeling, the foil stamping in a generic way, that could be done en masse, with long runs. But what is happening now is the short run aspect is taking over. I mean, you take even big brands, they will tailor a message to a localized consumer, right? I mean, you now have big brands where they will do billboards, they'll do their packaging for a localized area or around a event, and that drives short run. And what we've now been able to do is our machinery embraces the change that's happening in the industry of your offset, your legacy equipment, your traditional foil stamping methods. Now we can be done in a very small footprint, variable data, and operatable by, I'll call it, hate to say it, but relatively unskilled operators. I mean, we can take someone off the street within half an hour, they're going to be running a Skandacor device. And that is what is overwhelmingly shocking to the industry, that how easy it is to first get into from a revenue, a CapEx revenue standpoint, the small footprint of our equipment, and that any of their operators in their facility can now run the equipment. But the best thing is obviously the bottom line, right? So we like to say you can print one sheet, embellish one sheet, invoice one sheet, and make money on one sheet of paper. And that's just historically never been known. Legacy equipment, you're running hundreds or thousands of sheets before you get your first sellable product out. So we've completely flipped the script regarding it being a ROI stream that can be so quickly recognized.
I think that's kind of interesting because on the one hand, you're empowering the entrepreneurial company who only needs short runs and maybe can only afford short runs as they build their customer base. But you're also empowering folks on the other end of the spectrum to act like entrepreneurs, to produce limited release products and specialized products for given markets. I think that's an interesting dichotomy.
Exactly. And you take, some of these large print producers, most of them now run hybrid, right? They are both legacy equipment, offset equipment, and very large digital print sections. And depending on what the runs land, they have the gear to match that. But, when a printer is making that transition, they're always going, from offset or, legacy foiling gear, embellishment gear, etc. When they make that first step, it's a digital print box, right? That's their natural first step, which is a big investment for a lot of them to make that leap into a digital print. Well, now they've got a digital box, but wait, how do I actually get that to a high value piece that's sellable? Because when you digitally print, You don't want to take that to legacy finishing gear because your overruns don't make sense. So that is where we can perfectly complement whatever size digital print engine that they've decided to, move forward with. We have the matching production capability in a finishing aspect that can just run near line right in their little digital room.
What would you say is the right point in that evolution of a printer's business? Beyond they've already bought their digital box. When should they start thinking about talking to Skandacor to upgrade the embellishment and the foiling capabilities that they have?
Well, what we have found, Chris, the large portion of it is a lot of the customer base does not even realize that our equipment so perfectly complements their digital print box. And so they've historically known for maybe the past 20 to 30 to 40 years that if I want variable data foiling, well, if I want 100 names, I got to make 100 dies for my foil stamper, right? Now they have to get their head wrapped around that literally one machine, no dies, no tooling, never an issue with registration. They can just print the area that they want for foil. They just print that as a black layer on their toner-based device, run it through our system, and that black area becomes foil, and then drop it back in their digital press, and they can then do a CMYK layer and then use our same Skandacor device and apply lamination over it once it's all done, or we can layer it like different layers of a cake. But to your point, when is the right point? Often it's dictated by the customer. And as I said, we are trying to educate the print producer, but most importantly, the print producer has to educate their customer that, I have digital now, and what does that look like for you as the consumer or the purchasing the marketing or print or packaging? Do you want to build brand loyalty? Do you want to gain shelf space? What is your message? Because now we can tailor that message with a low cost investment. So, at which point we would like to say immediately, if you're buying a digital box, you really need digital enhancement immediately to really capture that revenue stream that's low hanging fruit.
Yeah, it again, what I like about it is it democratizes the ability to do these things for the smaller shop, especially when it kind of runs itself. What are some of the success stories that you've seen for customers who are brand new to the idea of embellishment and have really embraced it and done well with some of the devices?
Yeah, so we have, the overwhelming majority of all our customers that have purchased a Skandacor system, they're often realizing their ROI in under 12 months, which is not normal for the industry we're in, and, just personally the other day, I was working with a client. We ran the numbers on what he was producing with some of his legacy gear and now using a Skandacor system. His ROI was going to be 3 months. Okay. Wow. So when you put it on paper and numbers don't lie, and we say you're doing X amount today, if you now did that with our equipment, a 3-month ROI is a no-brainer. You better sign today. You're losing revenue if you decide to wait another week. You've lost a week of revenue. So it really lends itself. It's exciting, Chris. It is so exciting that we now can make print exciting again.
Everybody who says print is dead, I think, is not paying attention to some of this place in the market where the technology and the more traditional, idea of print really intersect and create something special. It sounds like you're really capitalizing on that.
Exactly, and that is, you've said it spot on. We have now made it so that everyone, regardless of what size you are as a print producer, it is going to be the largest revenue stream if you embrace the technology. Right here where I'm based, we have a local client. They started off one of our Skandacor systems a few years ago. They have now 3 high production, and over 40% of their profitability comes purely off of the products that come off the Skandacor system. So it just lends itself that it is the highest profit center in the print industry right now is embellishment. and get into it before the floodgates open it and everyone and their brother has it. It's it is something that we just like to be able to say we can make it affordable to everyone and we grow with you. So as you grow, we can either add more units or we can step up in terms of production capability. So, and that's whether that's our lamination and digital foiling, or whether that is our digital die cutting, or whether that is our raised 3D printing system. So all aspects we have affordable and then higher production.
Well, we better hurry up and tell people where to get in touch with you so they can take advantage.
Yeah, well, Skandacor.com. So, yeah, we like as mentioned, we have our global presence. I'm Skandacor, that is with Skandacor. Sleek Pro is, our trademark name for the foiling process. So many people hear about us through, the word Sleek Pro. And then our whole Finish Pro line is our digital die cutting and raised 3D embellishment. So, and you jump on our YouTube channel, anyone that is not aware of, the products and how they can impact print. I think we're up to nearing 100 different videos on our channel that shows all the processes and shows how easily it can be done, Chris. So that's some of the key metrics of it: easy, affordable, and the highest revenue.
Fantastic. Well, John, thanks for making print exciting again, for sure. Or for some, you'd say it's always been exciting. That's just more exciting now. So, but we really appreciate the opportunity to get to know Skandacor a little bit, and hope that folks start to pay attention and take advantage.
All right. Well, thank you so much for the opportunity, Chris, and look forward to speaking with your audience at some point.
Sounds great. Hey, just to sum it up for today, this has been John Congdon at Skandacor up in Western New York, sharing his visions and all of the exciting things that Skandacor does for the print industry. And this has been Chris Santomassimo, host of the Think Factory podcast. We'll see you next time.